54. A holistic product was introduced to me. It was discovered, but it was discovered by my chiropractor that my liver was compromised. So I was given something for just my liver. It did work, but unbeknownst to me, the rest of my body was really hurting as well. My body was being looked at only by parts, not in its entirety. So fast forward at 66, a friend asked me to an event she was having at her home, and I didn't want to go. I just didn't. So I took my cameras with me because I'm a photographer and she lives on the river, and I thought I would sneak out and just do photography. Well, when I got there, this lady by the name of Jana was someone who I knew from church, and I thought her to be a very successful in her own right. In fact, I knew her from that to be wealthy, and she was very good looking, and she was a professor of math. What the heck was she doing presenting a network marketing company's product? I mean, ignorance was bliss, right? So once Jana started enlightening us about whole food nutrition, my ears did perk up about this product, which treated the whole body to support the immune system, unlike the product that I had been introduced to years ago, which only treated one body part at a time. So if I would have continued using that product, if I had something wrong with my kidneys, I had to get something for my kidneys, then something for my heart, then something for this and something for that, which was extremely expensive. So Jana's product was streamlined. It took care of the entire body and addressed the immune system, which I learned later took care of all of my damaged parts that absorbed my abusive childhood. Guess what? I purchased this stuff. In a short amount of time, my third graders started asking me if I felt better. After about 3 months, I joined a group of people that were doing a detox called Shred 10. And boy, did I detox. A rash then formed on my face, which was heavy metals that were in my teeth. So when I was in fourth grade, I had 4 teeth that were filled with mercury. And so lo and behold, the product that I was taking with Juice Plus was helping me to detox that out. I also lost 40 pounds during that shred, but I didn't do it just for 10 days. I continued on. So for the first time in my life, the physical pain was gone. The nightmares were gone. Luckily, I did still think I'm not perfect yet, but I'm getting there, right? So the $1 million question is, how do you get this stuff? This one simple change? Well, you ask the person who brought you. So one of the things that says in my morning devotion that I do, and the title of that devotion was called Forget the Pain. It is time to forget your season of pain and embrace your season of fruitfulness, says the Lord. And that's what happened when I started with this one. The most important person you will love in your entire life is yourself. And as a woman, we have not done that in terms of our health. How selfish is that, right? Are you ready to bite the bullet and take care of yourself? That's my story.
Thank you. I see Gabby clapping. Awesome. Well, it's great to hear that. And so let's see. Is that a story? Because I know you're doing a lot of Zooms. Is that like your longer story that you're doing on Zooms to give people?
That's, yeah, I don't know how many minutes that took, but I think I've gotten it down to like 3 minutes and so many seconds. So,
So if you met somebody in an elevator though, or
oh, not
adult,
my that's
or,
not my elevator talk. No.
okay, so what would be your summary? Your summary story.
Wow. Wow. Um,
That's a hard one.
it
Okay,
is hard.
let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can do it. Um, I mean, mostly the middle part is going to be about fruits and vegetables for anybody's story, right?
Right.
So you could say, I had a terrible, I mean, I can even speak for myself. I had a terrible childhood. Um, I internalized a lot of things, right? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I internalized a lot of things. I had a lot of pains, a lot of symptoms. Nothing was working when I went to the doctors, the different doctors. I took stuff for my liver at one point. It wasn't until I made this one simple change, and you could even emphasize this one simple change, that I really got on the better track to health. I mean, that's kind of what you're saying, right?
Right, right. Yeah.
Anyway, but thank you. We love to learn. I just want to make sure everybody knows when we do ask you to share your story on here, it's going to be longer than if you were to meet somebody and just give a little bit of curiosity. So if
Right.
he just says, "Oh my gosh," for me, I could say, I was so run down. I had so many allergies, things like that, and then you kind of gauge, is the person going to ask me any questions about that? I might say, but I feel so much better, and I'm so thankful for this one simple change I made. You know, so
Yeah.
there's different versions. So that's your longer version for when you do Zooms. I know you're doing a lot of Zooms now.
I am finally. It's so exciting. I mean, I have to forego other people's Zooms because I'm doing my own. How thrilling is that?
I know, and same with Doug and I. We've been doing a lot of Zooms with Gabby, so we haven't been putting them on the books for team. I hope that you guys are all doing your different Zooms. Is
Right.
that what you guys are doing?
Yeah. So I did one for Heather the other day with her first potential client who lives in Albuquerque. And that was a lot of fun to do that. And so Heather said, I can do that. That was what was really thrilling.
Oh,
So
that's
that
really good.
she
Yeah,
held her own Zooms. Yeah.
some people are doing their own presentations. Doug, you had something?
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody knows. That's great, by the way, Darby. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so you got to have like a 3 minute, you got to have like a full story, and then you need like a 30-second one too. So when we go to the Freedom Revolution, is mostly for the newer people. On the training tab, are you guys seeing my screen,
Yeah.
Sharon?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Sharing with others.
Yep.
And then, of course, we make a list. That's step one. Sharing your product story. So there's a 7-minute video. You can learn how to share your story there. Right here, download sharing your product story. So there's like a worksheet of how to form it. So you do like the beginning, middle, and then beginning. 10 years ago, I was run down, tired, and just totally out of shape with poor nutrition. Then I learned about a simple way to flood my body with over 30 fruits and vegetables every single day. Now I'm feeling great. I'm more energetic. I've been able to lose like 40 pounds, and I'm just living a better life with my family. So that's like a really quick version, but it gets to the point of what my pain point was. Like I was tired. I mean, that's really the thing, is we want to share some kind of a word of emotion and things like that. We should do a story workshop, Sharon,
I know. Well, I think
sometime.
we could ask other people to share their story too. So, who wants to take a stab at the shortened version of the story? Thank you, Darby. That was very good. We love
You're
hearing
welcome.
about you and your journey.
Yes, thank you.
Deborah, I
Okay.
see you paying attention, and you're like smack in the center of my screen.
I'll go for
Great.
it. I found 7 years ago that I was beginning to have even more allergies than I'd had growing up as a child. Not just seasonal, but topical allergies as well. If something touched my skin that I was allergic to, that I didn't know I was allergic to, I'd break out in hives. Things that I would eat that before weren't a problem, I was also breaking out. And I was overweight. I didn't have the amount of energy I needed for my full-time plus job. Then a friend introduced a really simple way to get everything back on track for me, which turned out to be encapsulated fruits and vegetables. And I thought I was doing a good job of getting fruits and vegetables, but I wasn't. So not only did this benefit me, but it benefited my whole family.
Okay, great. Yes, I heard it all. Very good, Deborah. Oh, look at that. Okay, so she talked about 7 years ago, how she was feeling, and then she learned about a simple way, and then her ending. So who else would like to take a stab at that? We're going to leave the template up here. And this lunch and learn, we're kind of being like we're going off on tangents. So this is a tangent lunch and learn.
Spontaneous and
Spontaneous.
exciting.
We want to meet you where you're at. and what comes up today.
Oh, I like that, Sharon.
Oh, good. I have a lot more fun that way. I don't know about you guys, but um, so let's have fun with this. Who wants to have fun with this?
All right, I'll do mine.
Thanks, Michelle.
So, over 9 years ago, I was a young mom with 2 children under the age of 3. I considered myself to be very healthy. But at the time, my youngest, who was 1 year old, was a super picky eater and constantly sick. And so I was just like blown away when someone shared a way for all of us to flood our bodies with a ton of fruits and vegetables. And it was amazing what happened within 2 months of us starting on this. I noticed that my picky eater son, who was always sick, he hadn't gotten sick the entire 2 months. And by the 2 month mark, he started picking up broccoli and cabbage and eating it directly. And this was something he never did in the past. And then as for me, Miss Health Conscious, I noticed that like my fitness levels improved significantly. I had more endurance and stamina in the gym. And I never expected to see that happen because I just thought I was, doing all the right things, but I realized I wasn't getting close to what I needed in my diet. So it helped significantly.
Thank you, Michelle. Awesome. I'd love to hear from somebody who's new because this is really, I mean, if you can just have these 3 bullet points that you could just like think, okay, this, and that's, my basis for my story. And of course, you're going to embellish a little bit here and there, but not be worried about being perfect, okay? So who can do these 3 bullet
Well,
points?
notice too that on the sheet, it says, describe the changes you're experiencing since adding Juice Plus or the changes you're hoping for.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with your business. Like you can, if you don't have a story yet, you can still talk about your hope.
Okay, let's see. Do
I
I?
can give it a go if you want. It's Alicia.
Okay, great, Alicia. Thanks.
All right. So close to 17 years ago, I was a new mom and newly diagnosed with cancer. I thought my entire life that I grew up knowing how to live a healthy lifestyle with eating properly and exercising, and was a very active college student, but didn't realize that the poor food choices I had made in my past strongly led to reasons for my diagnosis at such a young age. I was at an event where I met Michelle and learned about a simple way to flood my body with over 30 fruits and vegetables every single day. Now, thanks to that simple change, I am very healthy. My family is also reaping the benefits of this health change. And I pray that because of the simple change, I can hopefully avoid that what was a tragedy that I triumphed in the past to not occur in their lives. I would tweak it some more, but something in the gist of that.
Yeah, I love it. And guess what? I felt like your emotions, I think even identifying your emotions on there, like labeling it a little bit, would be really good. I like the triumph. That's awesome. So I mean, you could bring, like it said here up at the top, were there any negative emotions associated with that? What were they? So just thinking in terms of emotions too, like I really felt the emotions, so it'd be good to just identify them also.
Perfect. Will do.
And Alicia's going to be speaking on our talk on the 16th. So it's going to be powerful. Stacy.
Hey, Sharon, I was just going to say from working with the Ditch the Pitch program, sometimes we like write out a story and it seems almost scripted because it is. Like if you're writing it out, it is a script. And so just know that you kind of want almost like bullet points to your story versus it written out in a story form, because you're going to change that depending on who the person is that you're talking to and the needs that they've shared with you. So let's say I'm talking to somebody who does not have children, then I wouldn't go into a whole lot of the part of my story that shares like picky eaters, or my son's rash on his face, or using this as my prenatal with my 2 girls. I wouldn't really go into that. It's like if you listen enough to their story and you ask them enough questions, then you find like parts of your story that relate to their story. And it's kind of like, same, I felt that same way. I was in the exact spot that you were. So it may not be, she's never had kids, like that's not her interest. Why would I talk about Juice Plus as a prenatal? That I used it. Like that wouldn't connect with her. That would be about making the story about me and sharing my story. So the whole point of sharing your story is not to get your story out, which is like, what? Why would that not be? It's to find pieces and parts that you can relate to their story and that you can connect to what they're telling you. And in that connection and that relating, their mind is going to be open to what information you share with them. But it's not like your story is really even not about you. It's so much about that other person.
Yes, I love that. Love that.
I
Okay,
can go, Sharon.
great.
So I actually wasn't looking for a health solution. I had 2 girls that ate salads every day, and I was just, I call them my whole food babies. But I was looking for I was looking for a gardening solution when I moved to Key West, which doesn't have any land. I've come to realize very small pieces of property, and you can't really dig down in the soil. So I discovered the Tower Garden at one of the markets in Key West. And as I was purchasing a Tower Garden, I look over and my daughter is eating all the green gummies that were sitting down next to her. And I thought, well, I asked about it and I found out it was a whole food gummy. And I thought, that sounds intriguing. And I did sign up for the business that day and decided that if I was going to be selling this, I probably should should take it ourselves and try it. So we did. We tried it. And I was actually really surprised to find that not only did we eat more fruits and vegetables, we started craving them, but also my sinus infections that I'd had for it was almost an annual basis or biannual basis were not happening anymore. And we just were sleeping better, had more energy. And I just, I can't say enough good things about the Juice Plus concentrates.
And I think, Kristen, I just feel like you probably don't just go into that story because you meet people one-on-one, you have lunch with them, you have coffee, you have them over. Are you sharing little bits like Stacy's saying, waiting till they've talked for a while and then Juice Plus comes up and then you're sharing that usually?
Yeah, in fact, I'm a good listener. I don't talk very much. So I just wait for people to sort of bring up something in their lives, whether it's a struggle with their children eating enough fruits and vegetables, or maybe they're sick, or maybe they're looking for a way to garden, because so often, people have small pieces of property here and just can't, would like to be able to do that and can't. So it just comes up naturally. And I think I mentioned, one of my new customers, she had mentioned something about her daughter and her skin, having some skin issues. I had talked to this woman. I've known her now for about 6 months, and I haven't said a word about Juice Plus. It just kind of came about naturally. And I felt like that was a good opportunity for me to just suggest maybe trying it as a solution, because she was looking toward more chemical, harsh solutions, and that would mess with your hormones. And I always like to suggest something more natural as um, as an alternative. So it does come up naturally. And I've come to realize that it's best for me anyway to be patient and to allow that conversation to evolve organically.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Um, who else would like to share their story? Or Doug, you and I talked about just we have some things that we're thinking about. We could go in whatever direction today, but we really want to hear from you guys. Like if you've got a burning question or something that you're like, dang, I can't make this work for me, that's what we want to talk about today. So
Yeah. What's on your minds? Or what do you wish you knew? Or what do you wish you were better at? Let's brainstorm it a little bit.
mhm.
You can put it in the chat if you need to.
What's
Everybody's a
your
little shy today.
I know. You guys could turn on your cameras. We love to see you. This is like a sizzle session, like we're at a restaurant.
We're
I
chilling out.
I have something, Doug and Sharon.
Good.
Yeah.
So I have opportunities here in Houston to expand I always have opportunities. And I'm, with this daily DMO lean in, that's really been great. And I'm, having new team come on and new customers. And I have opportunities to expand into the Tower Garden area in terms of community involvement. And like strategically, how do I keep the momentum in one area of my business while that opportunity is there? And no one else in Houston is doing anything, at the community level with Tower Gardens. And this is a huge city with a lot of need for, people, communities are interested.
Well, I think I'll speak to this first, and others might have stories because some people do have like other things kind of happening. I think that the primary way that we share Juice Plus is person to person, right? So it's relationship based. Now, how we end up having relationships in order to talk, we meet people. Sometimes it's people from our past. I know before COVID, Sandy and Karen like to do like the Discovery Museum trade show tables, the Boca Green Market we used to do, Sharon and I, things like that to meet people. But ultimately, it's all about one-on-one. So, we could think of a lot of ways. So let me just say that should be the majority of your methods for talking to people. My opinion is I'm kind of entrepreneurial. I always have like ideas going. I don't always share my ideas because I've learned from teaching college students and having children that sometimes when you talk about one thing, like that's what they latch on to, right? Like, I don't even want to think of an example, but I will do an example. I was teaching like audio, like recording studio stuff at the college level. And it's like, if you teach a concept, and I don't know, the concepts are advanced, but if that's what you talk about, that's all they're going to do, so you got to be careful what you focus on. So I would just say, save a small slice of the pie for some experimental things. For instance, cold market marketing on Instagram using hashtags. I don't know. I don't think I've ever gotten a customer or even a friend. I think I get friends from that because I see people adding me, but I've never gotten a customer. But I'll still do it sometimes because it's like, you know what? Some people are really doing that. I know Gwen O'Rourke does that and it works for her. So, I mean, could you go out into the community and do that? Yes, but I wouldn't see it as just a thing. For instance, I met Gabby at the dog park, you guys know, but as we leave the dog park, we see the community garden right there. And every time I walk by that thing, I'm thinking, look at those those plots of land, everybody rents them and nobody even waters them. You have to go do it yourself. I'm thinking I should just put a tower garden in there or just hang out and meet people. But I haven't gotten around to it, and I wouldn't spend all my time doing that because I have to go face to face. So just experiment with a small slice of the pie,
Doug.
and there's nothing wrong with it. What'd you say, Gabby?
That thought was in my head too. And Ryan, he was like, this is a good spot for you to talk about the tower gardens. But I
Yeah,
don't see anyone there, so.
I know nobody's ever there. I was thinking about putting a
No,
tower garden,
thanks.
like if I got one of those spots, just put a tower garden in it, and everybody's like, "What the heck is this thing?" And I could just leave like a note on it or something. But what are you gonna do? I remember when I first quit my day job because I used to be a school administrator, and Joel was the area superintendent. He said, "Hey, if I were you, I'd get a trailer and take the tower garden and go to every single school because all the principals. Just drive up and say, hey, come out, check out this thing. You need it for your science department." I could do that, or I could just get on Facebook and build a business that way. So
Mhm.
we could do lots
I
of
got
things.
it.
So I would say, I know I'm going long on this, but let me just say, I would do it if you're passionate about becoming a community leader in like plants and stuff. Then I would do it. But I wouldn't do it just to find new prospects. That's my
I got
opinion.
it. Yeah, one of my hesitations in this particular project that could very well happen is that the person who's on my team, who is the warm connection, isn't active. She's not active. So, the work probably would fall on me, which,
Mm-hmm.
if there was somebody in that community, someone else in the community that I knew would take on the maintenance of it. But I don't want to be out in the community doing tower garden maintenance.
No, I mean, it's just like, a lot of schools, some people are good at getting tower gardens in schools, but I wouldn't recommend having more than like 3 schools because once your towers are in a school, if they're not keeping them up, it's actually negative advertising, right?
Yeah.
So who would want this thing that's not used or it's overgrown or it's dying? So you got to go check on those things. I think the best person on here for getting out in the community, meeting new people, and establishing themselves as a community member would be Stacy Turner. Stacy, I think you should share a little bit about that, especially the Farmington, the new group you have for like the Save the City thing.
Artesia.
What is it? Artesia, yeah.
Well, I think anytime that you can get in front of people and offer like value to them. So like, what's your passion? What do you care about? What are you excited about? I've started a couple of different groups, different places that we've lived, and a couple of them here in this area. So it's kind of like I look for a need. What's a need that people have? And then how can I help fill that need? So when we moved here, I was really specifically wanting to, this is a small town, right? Like we maybe have 13,000 people that live here. A lot of the people that have lived here have been here for a very long time. So they already have friends. They don't need friends. They already have life established. They don't need somebody else walking in and like telling them what to do or, whatever that would look like. So I knew to have any sort of voice, I needed to like incorporate into this community, which is true if you're at a public school or you are at a private school. Like, how can you offer help and resources into that community? And so I looked around at like, what is something that's needed here that I have a passion for as well? And one of them was a mom's group. And so for moms that stay home of any ages and sort of like MOPS, but because I'm the moderator of the group, I organized it, I started it. I have a different voice than somebody that's just coming to the meeting, right? So I don't use that platform to share Juice Plus. I don't ever get up there and speak Juice Plus, but it's through like the relationships and like my service and helping these moms, that they have built a trust with me. And then if I see the need, I can have that conversation with them. And then from there, I can say, you know, I have something I think you might be interested in. Plus, I'm friends with them now on Facebook, and they see the posts that I have, so they come back to me. So that's a slower process, guys. Like for those of you just getting started, like just be thinking, okay, this is long-term activity that's going to pay off in the future. And it also gives me a chance to practice leadership skills or speaking in public skills that's outside of my business, right? So I've done that from the very beginning, was a part of different groups where I would be encouraged or asked to speak, or if I was starting it, that I would be the speaker. So this newer group is Concerned Citizens for Artesia, as just looking at what needs are here. Like there's no private schools in this small town that we're in, nothing. The closest one is an hour away. So helping find people that do want to start a private school and helping to support them. And we have informational meetings and talking about COVID prevention and early treatments. I don't have to speak Juice Plus from the front of the room. It wouldn't be right if I did that. It would be overstepping the reason why those people were there, and they would feel as if I was selling them something. It would be awkward, and it wouldn't flow well. But through that, I'm finding like-minded people that are concerned and are wanting to do something to help our community and help support that and get information out. So then I can have secondary meetings where those that are interested in health or want more detail on the early treatments that I can recommend to them, then they can come in smaller groups and I can meet with them, or it's starting one-on-one conversations. And so it takes time for something like that to build. But if you're going to invest in starting a group or something like that within your community, just know it's not going to appeal to everyone, and that's okay. Find something that you really, excuse me, can go after, that you're passionate about, and then offer help and solutions, and give it time, because it does take time to build rapport with people. For the first month and a half, I could say like, I don't think this is working. I wasn't doing it because I wanted to get Juice Plus customers, right? I'm doing it because I do have a deep concern, and I am wanting to help support the community. But I'm also not stupid in that I'm not going to waste my time. If this is something I'm really passionate about, you know, health and nutrition, then I'm going to be intentional about the conversations that I do have with people, that I'm bringing it back to questions that get them thinking about their personal health. So you still have to be intentional about it, or you can volunteer your whole life away. And Deborah, that's a great example of like Tower Gardens. If you become the Tower Garden person and you're maintaining all of this, you are just volunteering your time, which is, if that's where your heart is, do that. But you've got to be intentional about having the conversations, the smaller connections that are going to lead you to the point where you can invite them to a health talk, that you can start to send videos, that you can get on the phone with people, or you're not going to, it's just sort of a waste. You're like a sounding gong. There's a Bible verse about that you're just kind of noise in the background of everyone's life. So how can you offer value to people in whatever it is that you have a high interest or passion about? Is that what
Thank you?
Doug?
Thank you. That's great. Thanks.
Awesome.
And I want to add very quickly, because I keep raising my hand, but then Douglas said it, and then I raised my hand, but then Stacy said it. Amazing. I heard you say, Deborah, that you do not want to spend the time. That's not where your heart is, and it's not coming from you. It's one of your partners. So then to me, I heard your own answer right there. Then just don't pursue. Because I have found, and every day is a realization to me that I get to do what I love, like Stacy was saying, and at the same time having that boundary, being real on where is this going, is taking too much time of me or not, but doing what makes me happy. And one of my strengths, like we were talking on Monday, practicing my strengths from that space and energy of positiveness and being, you know, what makes me happy, then other things evolve and you start attracting more of what you want. if that answers a little bit or clears for your answer right there. So thank you.
I love that.
Thank you, Nicole.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
I
You
think
want to make
this,
sure it's not a job. You know, we didn't sign
yeah,
up to have a job. So it should come easy. It's a virtual business where you share your excitement, you share some information, you follow up. Like sometimes people with the Tower Garden, they're like, Sharon, they come to me, do you know how to get school grant writing done? Have you ever written a grant? Do you, you know, I'm like, listen, I didn't sign up for that. That is not, I'm going to give the school information about the Tower Garden. That's their job to get the grant. So you got to have your boundaries on what you want your business to look like. You know, if you want a job, then you're dropping off this, you're dropping off that, you're mailing this, you're mailing that. It's really not necessary. So you got to keep it very simple so that it is a nice flowing virtual franchise for yourself, you know?
also,
Not
go
be
ahead, I'm sorry.
responsible for a bunch of Tower Gardens. You have to train the people. If they're buying the Tower Garden, that's their responsibility. You know, you send them the videos and all that. You help them by FaceTime or Zoom or sending them links. But everything should be very systemized so that you don't have to trade time for money. Okay, remember that.
Absolutely.
No time for money. We're going to leverage our time. We're going to have a virtual, awesome, easy franchise. Go ahead, Dougie.
Exactly. Yeah, that defeats our purpose. So I think it doesn't mean you can't follow your passion and create leads from that. It's just what that's kind of the litmus test for us. If it means I have to organize something, if I have to go on meetup.com and create a thing and make an account and do all this stuff, it's like, why would I do that? So whatever area you could be an influencer in, don't forget you could just do that on social media. Instagram's great for that because then you have all your hashtags and stuff. You would build a community. Just give away whatever you have to give away. Make it free. Like, so even looking at outschool.com, you know, like if Darby were to go on there and teach creative writing, she could do that and she might make $10 a person. Wow, I made, you know, there's 4 kids in my class today. I made $40. Or you could just go on Instagram or go on Twitch or something or YouTube and go live and be the lady that teaches free creative writing. And you post up stuff and you do all this stuff and you're like this valuable resource, but you end up having thousands of followers and then you're an influencer and people are drawn to you. So I think you can give it, because we see this happening sometimes where people learn a skill or something and then they want to charge for it. It's like, why would you? It's like you're tripping over pennies and you're losing out on thousands and thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? So that's a hard concept for people sometimes, but just like Stacy said, you know, give value and give it away freely. And then you'll become an influencer and then you'll have influence and then people will respond more to when you do share with them.
Okay, and Sakura had a question. Sakura, go ahead and unmute if you don't mind and let us know how long you've been with us. I know your name. I think you're on Dr. Nalani's team.
Yes. Hi. Thank you so much for holding space for me.
Aww.
I've been here since the beginning of the pandemic, maybe April.
Yeah, the Blitz when we had free distributorship, maybe.
Yeah, that's around the time that I started, and I joined knowing nothing about Juice Plus. I just felt like it was the right thing for me. May not have been the right time, but the right thing. I have only one client here. But I love Juice Plus for myself and for my son. And I'm so nervous about getting on social media and meeting people, but I really want to do that. I'm also an herbalist. I'm into health and holistic stuff. And I want to share that with people on social media as well as my passion. Still scared, but I don't know where exactly to start. And I just wanted to ask maybe some direction. And I know that we have this lunch and learn. And I think that you do share here. And every so often I look for it, but I don't know when or how to get started on meeting people and sharing Juice Plus with them on Facebook. And I know that's what you do.
Okay, so I'll say some, but I expect all you guys to contribute. Okay, this is not the Sharon and Doug show. You guys are awesome and even more awesome most of the time. Okay, so Sakura, first of all, if you've only got an order for yourself, you want to think of your family. And if you feel like your family's a hard one, then you want to have a friends and family Zoom or call so that there's a third party helping you to get your family healthy. Because we're the nucleus of our 700 people that each of us know by the age of 30. Yeah, that's right, 30. Anyway, I'm like thinking, was that right? Yeah, 30. So you are the point person. So, I mean, you have some major skills behind you with the herbalist and all that. Amazing. So we can definitely talk about that. And, but you want to first just know that every way that we're talking about is basically just leading you to a relationship to then share just a little bit of your story and gauge whether or not people want to know more, you know? So creating curiosity on social media or in person. So if your parents or your aunt, your uncle, whatever, you got to start with them also on a memory jogger list and try to get some of them on Juice Plus. So really warm market is where you want to first focus. Warm market, okay? So they're warm to you, and even if it's not directly warm, like say it's your brother's friend, they're still indirectly warm market to you. They're acquaintances. They know you if you picked up the phone or you messaged them on Facebook. So you wanna talk to people in a way. So, but to get to the social media, we have like social media resources on the freedomrevolution.com, password revolution. But basically, we're not selling on social media. Everything is to bring about conversation. So whatever you're posting, it should be like, oh, how do I get that? Or, hey, what is that? You know, that should be the comments that you're getting on social media. It's not, hey, there's buy one get one free adult and child juice plus. Here's my link. That's like a one and done. You know, you do. There's no conversation, and now they have every information that you could have provided, right? So we want to just lead people down the track. So I know I just said a bunch of things that didn't really answer your question, probably. So now I'm going to give it to our audience and let them give you some advice. So go ahead, guys.
Thank you.
I would say, this is Sandy, real quick. I would suggest maybe logging into the Freedom Revolution under Getting Started and watch social media, that social media training. Because Sharon's right. Once you go through the friends and family call and you're ready to get started with the social media, you'll want to learn the do's and don'ts before you do it. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, who's next? Thank you, Sandy.
I can say something. So yes, what Sandy said is what I looked at on the freedomrevolution.com. You go to training, and then it just says, it gives you examples of social media posts, and it also gives you like little pictures that they have created that you can also use that will gain like questions, like Sharon was saying, like create conversation. So something I have done was post like my capsules or my thing and just said, so excited to start this journey, something quick. And then I didn't really get a lot of responses back, but like people that had seen it, that I've seen like at work, they're like, oh, I saw your thing. What was that? You know, like creates kind of conversation. Or what was that you posted or whatever. So that's what I found that I did. I don't post too much, but it, you know, just something to just throw it out there and say that I'm starting this. People will eventually be like, oh, what was that thing that you were starting? Another thing was like my mom had purchased from me, and she posted when she got her shipment in just a picture of her boxes and said, starting this, let's see what happens, like a bunch of vegetable emojis, and like tagged me. So it was just something to spark up like questions and conversation. So I don't know if that helps you, but
yeah, I think she then had a bunch of people that commented. And from there, now her mom wants to have a Zoom
with some of her friends. Yeah. So we're doing like a family friend Zoom for her and some of the people that were asking her questions and some other people. So it kind of creates that conversation.
Thank you, Gabby. Who else?
I would like to hear more about, like, Sakura, just to clarify, are you hesitant on social media in general? Are you nervous about social media, or are you just nervous about sharing Juice Plus?
Thank you for asking that clarity. I am nervous on social media in general. And as you all were talking, I think my question actually is, because it will probably be easier to start this because my first client, she is my actual herbal client, and I introduced her to Juice Plus. So does anyone have experience having already a client base and then introducing Juice Plus to them? Because I think that might actually be the easier way, because I did it once. Yeah, I did it once, and I should probably be able to do it the
Yeah, I
same.
mean, you have that ability where you can say, I recommend. I mean, we tell you guys to say, I recommend, because you also have that confidence, you know the research, you know the value of Juice Plus. But Sakura, you're coming from the doctor point of view where you can say, I recommend, this is a baseline thing, not a baseline, a foundational thing that I recommend to all my clients. This plus the herbs, you know, that's what our doctors usually do.
Foundational thing. Recommend to all clients.
You can find a better
That
word.
was like the answer. That was the answer.
Okay, good. Well, we definitely have some doctors who recommend Juice Plus, and they find it pretty easy. So you're going to find it really easy if you already have clients and you can recommend.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. And we're here for you. You know, whatever other questions, so let us know.
And I would just add also, just like really show your excitement about it. So, you know, you've been sharing herbs for a long time and you know the benefits of that. And now you have an easy way for your clients to get like nutrition from fruits and vegetables, which Sharon said they're foundational. Just sharing that, wow, this is another way I can help you, you know, bring it to you, what you already do, and helping people that you're helping them even more improve their health with more fruits and vegetables in a really simple and easy way.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Sakura, where are you located?
I am located in Florida,
Ah,
West Palm Beach, Florida.
oh, well, we need to meet you. We're in Coral Springs. That's awesome.
You're where?
Coral Springs.
Coral Springs is right there.
It is right there.
I knew
Yeah,
that.
a lot of us on here are down here.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So I
Yeah.
moved to the right place.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd suggest too that you put a tower garden up in your office, because that they always create a lot of questions, and you can even say, you know, that you've started adding a lot more fruits and vegetables to your diet through tower garden, as well as kind of an easy button if you're on the go and on the run. I'd say something like that too.
Or if you're seeing clients on Zoom, you could have it in the background, you know. Denzel, go ahead.
Hi, how you guys doing today?
Good.
So speaking on piggybacking kind of off of how Sakura is like approaching it, okay, like I have this business, I'm kind of certified in what I do. How do I push my clients along into Juice Plus and Tower Garden and our vision? So like with me, I'm a builder. We're doing a lot of outdoor spaces. We literally have clients right now closing out their porches and patios, closing out those projects. And I'm drafting up emails now, kind of like saying, hey, how you doing? I see your space is going well, your porch and all that, just mentioning context. And I'm trying to say, like, I wanted to offer your family solutions for self-sufficiency. I think a tower garden would be a great companion to your outdoor living space. That's one way that I would like to, like, you know, hit this at a certain angle. Would you guys have any other requests or, you know, comments on that?
I think that is awesome. So how did you say that for sufficiency? I love that.
So I was basically like, I just mentioned, you know, the current time's so shaky. I wanted to offer a solution for your self-sufficiency amidst the changing times. You know, you mentioned their new out, because we're doing great. You can imagine the stuff that people want to do now. They're all like cooped up in their house and they're looking at the unfinished decks and all that. And there's a lot of stuff going on. So like, I literally have the ability to go into their drawings and input the you know, the footprint of the tower garden, like, hey, how you doing? Because you know, you're going around the clients every day as an architect. Just I feel like that's a no-brainer and something that could implement into my DMO, so to say. My overall DMO.
So you're coming from your vantage point of I recommend.
Yeah.
You're talking about Sakura's coming from I recommend. So, you know, looking at your beautiful paradise that we're creating, and you include your line that you had there, you could say
Right.
there's thousands of people who have decided to add this, you know, to their backyard living, whatever. Um, and so I think you're on the right track.
Yeah, and another note I kind of had was because I'm on the way out to that area that I'm building in. So it's like, okay, I'm transitioning to this area and I want this to kind of be along the lines of like my establishment of my voice and my purpose in the community. So I just, I'm just trying to, just for, I can't explain it. I'm just trying to finesse it, kind of, sort of.
Well, you're thinking. And
Uh-huh.
the whole thing, you know, and all through my journey, you know, getting to NMD and beyond, you have to think. You have to
Yeah, it's just strategy. Don't overcomplicate your strategy. Don't.
But you gotta
Oh, I gotta.
invent within your own wheelhouse, and you're
Right.
inventing within your own wheelhouse, and you're still going to use the system. Say that they want to hear more about the Tower Garden, you're still going to use the system of sending a video, and you're going to follow up. And if you need help, you'll get somebody else on the line with you. So you're working within what you are passionate about, what you are currently working in, making our products work in that realm. So it's perfect.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
And
I'm just running that by.
Denzel, you'll
think
find
that's
this really. Oh, go ahead, Darby.
I think that's a fabulous idea because I'm moving to Texas at the end of May, and I have been looking at either getting a greenhouse or seeing about adding a greenhouse, you know, in a kit to the backside of the house, and putting my tower gardens in there. I have 3. My 3rd one will be paid off in May, and I'm thinking about getting a 4th one as well. So I think that you're drawing the footprints and then putting that tower garden on the
like
inside.
I didn't want to, yeah.
Do you live in Texas?
No, I live in Maryland, moving to Virginia.
So
I
just
want
real
to live.
quick, Denzel, you'll appreciate this. So we're getting quotes for a swimming pool at the house. So the contractor comes over, he kind of looks at the space, and he saw my tower gardens in the backyard. So when he gives me my
drawings,
let's
see what they look like.
Includes it right in there, you know. So that's pretty awesome. Check this out.
Yep. Let's see what they look like. Probably did a dotted. Yep.
You see that?
Yep. The 3Ds
so he puts
and
them,
all that.
He
That's
puts it on the
exactly
video 3D, and it's like, oh, there's my tower gardens, and there's the pool.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like he
That's
got
exactly,
it.
That's exactly it. That's
Yeah.
it.
So why not? So what I need to pitch to him is he could put that in all his proposals to all the pools he does, and then I could consult with him on how to get tower gardens going.
Because I work with the pool guys, the stuff. Oh man.
See what happens when you start thinking?
Oh man.
South Florida team, get ready. We're creating a little place to hang out back here.
That's nice, dog. That's a pergola.
There's really no limit, you know, to where you can go with this. And like even Doug mentioning, and Michelle and I have talked about this, to even get like the little trailer. I mean, this is off subject of yours, Denzel. Maybe not. I don't know. But to get a little trailer and go to little nurseries or schools or whatever with the tower garden for the day. I mean, there's so many things that
you never know how it just jumps off like boom. You reach the right person.
There's so many ways that you can quote work this business, but do something fun and exciting. Like Michelle and I would definitely have a great time doing that. And I think she did do that with Nicole in Miami. They like dragged her around a tower garden. Right?
Yeah, heck yeah. They were in the art. Weren't you guys in the art design district in Wynwood, wheeling a tower garden around? I mean, they're crazy. Perfect.
Love it.
You're gonna hit a lot. You're gonna hit a lot of eyes. Thank y'all. Appreciate that.
So the moral of the story is you really can't say the wrong thing to the right person, the right thing to the wrong person.
And you got to have fun, man. Just do the business how you want to do it. Work it in.
Yeah, I like, and that's what I like about it. It's like okay, you do this, then that. It's how do you live, and just just interweave it like that.
But still run ideas by your upline, because
that too,
it is easy to kind of go down a side road. Like I do it all the time still, and I have to catch myself. I'm curious about the whole click funnels and how that stuff works. And so I'll experiment with it, But then it's like, wait, if I'm spending more than 30 minutes a day, I'm losing money here. That needs to be just like research and development. And the real business is just talking to people, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Cowboy Mardi Gras
Talk to
parade.
Say less to more people has always been
This is
a quote. Say less to more people. So anyway, work within your strengths, work within, you know, what you're already doing or passionate about, and let's go out and get them. Thanks, Sakura, for sharing. Thanks, Denzel. Thanks, everybody. I guess
Well, that worked out.
yeah, that was quick.
I think seeing that visual, well, I know it got me excited, so I want to be in all clubs so I can be invited to that pool.
Oh, you're in the club.
Everybody's in the club.
You're on our team. You're in the club. You're on our sideline team.
If it gets too crowded, we'll have to buy a new house.
Oh my goodness.
I'll design it for you, Doug.
All right.
Anybody?
Dude, I wish you were down here. Hey, I might need to send you some of these quotes so you can just see.
Yeah.
Some of them seem a little weird sometimes.
Okay.
And Gabby, Ryan too. He knows all this stuff, right? Yeah.
So if you have specific questions and you want to stay after and have some like one-on-one coaching and you have questions that we can answer, I want to just say we're here for you and we'll stay on. So everyone else can just go. We thank you for being here. We'll see you Friday at Friday's Lunch and Learn.
All right, y'all take it easy.
You too.
All righty. Bye.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That was really exciting. Thank you. Bye.
Is Janie Memsey still on here? Oh.
No.
I was gonna show off my my romaine today. He's out of control.
All right, Gabby, I know you've always got questions. Let's go. Well, your brain is going a mile a minute. Oh, she looks frozen. Maybe
She was waving. I thought she was
maybe she's
leaving.
gone. She might be gone. Sakura, let's get you to Partner Plus. What's the deal?
Yes.
Sakura.
I'm right here.
Maybe I'm frozen. Was I frozen?
No, she's good.
No, I was just